What's up guys, Jarv here, and we're back again with some Destiny 2. Now today's the day that we finally see the launch of the Black Armory a little bit later. So in this video today we're going to be looking at the exotics that we can expect to see, as well as covering off a little bit of the Forge gameplay that Bungie and Activision have released. Before we jump into that though, I just want to remind you that today is the last day for the Forsaken and Annual Pass giveaway. I'll be completing the draw at midnight today and then announcing the winner. So if you haven't entered, make sure you do before midnight tonight. I'll leave a link in the video description. If you enjoy this video, feel free to leave a rating, that super helps me out. And if you are new to the channel, feel free to hit that sub button as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into it. So with the launch of the Black Armory, we see 4 brand new exotics and 1 returning classic. The first one here is Izanagis Burden. This is a kinetic sniper rifle where the intrinsic perk allows you to consume all the rounds in your magazine to make one super bullet, which is basically an absolute monster. It's a one-hit body kill, as you can see in Crucible, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out in PvP. Now if we take a closer look at the weapon, the intrinsic perk is called Honed Edge. Holding reload consumes the magazine and loads a round with additional range and damage. So as I was saying, that's an absolutely monstrous amount of damage that it's able to do. Alongside its intrinsic perk, it also had Outlaw, so it's really interesting to see whether that's going to allow us to synergize those 2 perks together to speed up that super reload for that super shot. So it's a matter of hours away, so hopefully we'll find that one out. Now alongside this we have the Monarque. This is an exotic bow. With this bow we see the return of damage over time, which was introduced with Thorn. So this one's called Pestilence Arrows. So on a perfect draw, a hit receives damage over time, and on a perfect draw with a precision hit, all enemies in a void cloud receive damage over time. So it's going to be interesting to see that mechanic return to the game. It's also going to be great to see how this weighs up against the other bows in the game. There are some really good ones. Bows generally are fun to use, but they are very situational and a bit of a niche weapon. So I'm hoping this one is more effective, especially with groups of adds, especially with the cloud of void damage and the damage over time. But definitely sound off in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on dot damage returning to the game, and whether something like Thorn or Rose is something that we're going to see in Destiny 2 moving forward. Now that brings us on to the new fusion rifle. So this is called Jontunn. So this basically fires a massive tracking solar slug which ignites the ground and deals immense damage. Now this is a weapon that you basically wear on your fist. Now you'll see from the Forge footage towards the end that this is actually an energy weapon. So it's going to populate the same slot as our infamous Telesto. Unfortunately there's no other details in the database, no name of the intrinsic perk or anything like that. So that's as much detail as we have, but there'll be more raw footage towards the end. And that brings us nicely onto the final new exotic that we see in the Black Armory. This is called Anarchy. This is a grenade launcher, and this basically fires arc mines which net together to form an arc field which deals damage. Look at that, it's actually immense. Now if we have a look at the weapon in more detail, it's called arc traps. So grenades stick to surfaces and chain arc bolts to other mines. This is going to be immensely powerful for game modes like Control, like you see in the footage there, and especially things like Gambit, where you're going to be taking out massive groups of enemies in short spaces of time. And then finally, the thing that we've all been waiting for, the final return of the last word. So this is going to be coming via an exotic quest. It's called The Draw, and that's coming on the 29th of January. So we've got a little while before we're going to get our hands on what's probably the most famous hand cannon in this franchise, and I can't wait to pair this with a sniper rifle and go all OG D1 style. Hopefully snipers get a bit of a buff between now and then, and we're going to get some immense plays, man. I can feel it. So there we have it guys, just a really quick roundup on the new exotics that we can expect to see over the first couple of weeks of the Black Armory, and the great new returning one towards the end. So from here I'm going to let the footage of the Forge play out for you guys so you can get an idea of the sort of thing to expect a little bit later today. This is courtesy of Activision and Bungie. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a rating below, that super helps me out. And don't forget to enter the giveaway that ends at midnight tonight. And if you are new around here, I want to see more Destiny content moving forward, then feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. I'm going to jump back into the game, and I will catch you a little bit later. See you soon. Peace.